Hello Geneva, and welcome to Geneva Works. I'm your host Kevin Starr. Summer means construction season, and we have plenty of projects going on in Geneva. Today, we're talking with Assistant Public Works Director Brian Schiber about the latest on our roads.
Well, the city's engineering division is comprised of not only myself as the city engineer, but also we have another city engineer, and we also have an engineering tech, and we have a geographical information systems department, or we call it GIS department, that handles all of our mapping system needs for utility updates and as-built record drawings for all the public improvements that are associated with all the projects in town. Our role is associated with maintaining the public rights-of-way. We review projects for compliance with city code and with IDOT standards for construction. We review plans to make sure everything is in compliance with those codes. We do inspection for all the construction projects that are in town and the public rights-of-way. And we keep very busy with doing all those items. Plus, we also issue right-of-way permits. We look at overweight truck permits, and we do a lot of coordination with the other outside agencies, with IDOT and with county and other surrounding municipalities. Yes, well, IDOT's anticipated goals right now is that in the third week of July they were going to wrap up their surface. They would follow through thereafter pretty quickly with the striping. They would have to do whatever punch list work they had remaining, and that project would basically be complete by end of July, early August. In talking with the resident engineer for IDOT, he anticipates that definitely in that first week of August they should be completely wrapped up and out at downtown area, and in fact they'll be done probably with the entire project by early August. The road diet concept came out of a desire from the residents over there to try and ease a lot of their traffic concerns and safety issues that they have with the current configuration out there. There are 4 narrow lanes, and it kind of squeezes traffic, and the residents that live over there have a lot of problems with concerns with their safety. So the road diet, what it amounts to is taking those 4 lanes and restriping it into 3 wider lanes. It will basically be 1 lane in each direction of travel, going both one northbound, one southbound, and there'll be a center turn lane. The thinking on that is that not only will that help slow traffic down because it's now 1 lane instead of 2, but it should increase safety because now there's a center turn lane that people can use to get into their driveways and side streets without stopping traffic. IDOT has indicated that our section of Route 31 does meet their criteria for what they would consider an effective and safe road diet program, and that's based on traffic projections, the existing traffic loading that's on the roadway, and even some of the safety and geometrics associated with the road. So what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks with this project is once the surfacing is completed, IDOT's going to come through and they're going to restripe into a 3-lane configuration starting at Elizabeth Place going south. It'll be 3 lanes from there all the way down to I think it's the driveway for 1950 South Batavia. And then at that point, it's going to transition to the usual 4-lane configuration that's been in place since from the original setup. So that's what the road diet comprises of. There will not be any bike lane associated with that. Within that, that was an early component, and they were thinking that they could fit a bike lane in there. But the geometrics and the existing width of the roadway will not allow for that bike lane to be put in. That project is basically complete at this time. IDOT has indicated that they're going to give their contractor up until mid-August to complete all their punch list, little items of outstanding work. But for all intents and purposes, that project is complete now. The landscaping is installed, all the lighting's in place, and the traffic signals are functioning. So that was a very nice project. It did away with a lot of the traffic delays associated with getting stopped by the train. And now with that grade separation, I think people have a much easier commute now without that being stopped by the train all the time. The city's long-range plan for that intersection is to eventually extend Couts Road further south and eventually tie it into Fabian. That'll happen with what the city calls their Southeast Master Planning Area. And with the potential developers lining up for that area is all zoned for industrial development, and the extension of that roadway would be provided with whenever that project gets developed. The city will take the lead on that, and we'll be looking at trying to do what IDOT calls some phase one studies in preparation to justify putting in another, what we call, leg of that intersection. Right now it's a three-legged intersection. We would put in the fourth leg to allow for the extension of Couts Road going down to Fabian. Within our engineering department, we have staff that are continually looking around, driving the roads, doing their evaluations to decide when a road needs to be replaced. Is it a matter of just doing some crack sealing? Does it need to be patched? Or does it need a full surface removal and replacement? So our staff is constantly looking at that. We have projections on when we believe roads are going to need to be replaced. And we're constantly looking at that and determining, does the street need to be slid forward or moved back in the schedule for replacement. And then depending on what kind of budgeting we get for each year's annual road program, that's how we decide which roads get done. That's also driven by some service requests we get from residents. If they indicate that they're having a lot of potholes or problems with sidewalks or broken curbs or something like that, then we respond to those service requests also. Well, despite all the rain that we've had over the past few months, the contractors made good progress. He started out on the far west side of town with curb removals, sidewalk replacements. They have to do all the concrete work first. And a lot of times that's what has the most impact to residents, especially if they have a piece of curb replaced at the end of their driveway. Oftentimes they can't get into their driveways for 3 or 4 days until that concrete sets up and cures. Once that concrete work is done, then the contractor comes through and he does his milling and resurfacing. And he's basically done with that section. He moves on. So the contractor started on the west side of town. As of right now, he's on the east side of the river and starting to do the concrete work. He's making good progress, and we anticipate that he'll probably be done by the end of August. You can go to the city's home website and click on the link for construction projects. We encourage residents to sign up for text updates or email updates, whatever they want. But once you click on that construction updates tab, then you can scroll down and look down at the various projects and receive the information you're looking for. We try to keep that information current. We try and update it every week. And certainly if you have other questions that are not being answered on the website, you're welcome to contact the city. That parking garage was originally designed for 3 levels. And at the time that it was constructed initially, the city only had funding to complete 2. Now with the UP and Metro anticipating the construction of a 3rd rail on the south side of the existing tracks, we'll lose a lot of our existing parking that's on the south side of the tracks. So we needed to construct that 3rd level of the parking garage, and in anticipation of losing all that parking on the south side. The parking garage is in place now and it's open for use. And we're also drawing up plans now for fall construction of an additional parking lot at the corner of 4th Street and Crescent. Hopefully that will address all of our parking needs as the 3rd rail project commences. Well, we have had quite a few big rainfall events, and several of those rainfall events have exceeded the capacity of the storm sewers. And that's what people see when they see water standing on top of the curb, and it's not getting into the storm inlets. The storm sewer is not sized to handle those kinds of storm events. With that said, though, we did not experience any major flooding issues. We have not had any major complaints, and the system has survived intact. You can certainly go on the city's website and look under the tab for the government departments. The engineering department has our own tab under there. You'll see pictures of our staff and our contact information. The Public Works building is located at 1800 South Street. Our phone number is 630-232-1501, and our office hours are 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
That's all the time we have for Geneva Works. I'd like to thank Brian Schiber for his knowledge and insight. We also thank you for watching. We'll be tuning in again next month to see how Geneva is working for you.